on. Got the frames going. They are fine, looks like. And it looks like the audio is being captured fine, same as the microphone. And that's good too. So now I just need to start the YouTube stream and we'll be ready. Come on, YouTube. Open up. We're almost there. Create, go live. And just need to wait for this to adjust.
아니야.
Hello, Roja.
그냥 가끔 이래. 별것도 아닌데 울적하고.
There we go. So, and edit this to be the Iron City approaches. Save. Good. Now let me scroll back over. Start the YouTube stream. Sorry for any VOD watchers. Just making sure everything's working. Okay, there we go. YouTube stream is online. Just needs to load the capture. There we go. Okay. We are good. We're all ready. I'm hoping to... I'm without a doubt finishing Intervalo 7-1 today. But I'm hoping to get to 7-2 as well. Yeah, LCD regular checkup. I just have 2 more things to do in here. 7.5-13, new classification codes. Let's have a look. Come on. After some time passed... Next, we must discuss the classification numbers. We have been assigning risk levels for distortions, just as we have for abnormalities. The observation logs you've written for us were of great help, of course. My researchers struggled to parse the handwriting of certain sinners. However, it was good data all the same. We once had a 3-hour debate over a letter. Boy, even that bloody governess gave up trying to fix my handwriting. Heathcliff grinned proudly and wiped the side of his nose. As you must all be aware, the current system of classification numbers has a rather significant oversight. Because abnormalities were creations of the former L-Corp, our classification system has to be lifted whole from their system. However, the criteria by which the former L-Corp measured the risk levels was the amount of their energy production. As a correct correlation of sorts, it was often the case that the more aggressive abnormalities produced more energy, but their destructive capabilities were not a part of the criteria, despite their correlation. That is why certain abnormalities were assigned relatively lower risk levels, despite their potential to kill even multiple higher-ranking employees. They were an energy company at the end of the day. It makes sense that their priority would be to measure the energy output. However, here, both abnormalities and distortions must be suppressed by direct confrontation. Thus, the former L-Corp's classification system is rather incongruent with our purposes. I once heard someone say that we should be wary of people who drone on in the intro. Thus, it became necessary for us to reorganize the distortion's risk levels and classifications orders. Wow, how interesting! So whose job is that gonna be? I am rather taken aback by the naivete with which you asked me that question. Us. It's us. Sinners without the right to refuse, was it? Wait a sec. Aren't you just offering to upload your own work upon us? A privilege given to researchers. Oi! Don't be so ignorant, y'all. This is all just, in order to research distortions. Right, we gotta... The other way around, assistant. We've got to do research into distortions in order to solve them better. It's elementary shite. Hohenheim's really got you wrapped around his finger. You know that, right? According to the LCD on-site investigative reasoning team leader, the progress of a distortion is much like that of a disease. The fate of an abnormality awaits at the end of the distortion phenomena, after all. When a distortion progresses into an abnormality, all pre-existing individuality is erased, replaced with the totality of an abnormality. Thus, it is impossible to bring back a distortion that has already transformed into an abnormality. It will no longer have that reversibility that they once had in the distortion phase. So, a distortion like that Time Ripper fellow will eventually become an abnormality too, if left untouched? If you're referring to the subject He-6-Pi-20-1, then yes. This is simply a prediction, of course, because that particular subject isn't contained here. I cannot say with absolute certainty that its progression into an abnormality will be observed. A correct assessment. Oh? Didn't Limbus Company collect the Time Ripper? We hoped we would, but T-Corp was very adamant about their claim over the entity, to the point where they refused to even sit at the negotiation table. I found their time-ripping ability quite fascinating, but sometimes I must know when to cut my losses, I suppose. Wait, so that something is the new classification code format? Indeed, because it is difficult to identify and observe the origin of the shape of a distortion, we decided to forego that information and instead replace them with their sin affinities and their expected damage scale. Sin affinities. Pi must refer to Bigradia, sloth. It appears that the classification now mimics the classification of the Picatula. They do indeed follow the same thought process, if we're being technical here. I wouldn't say it mimics it. It would be more accurate to say that it, as the Peculata, are at once the origins of the distortion phenomena and its byproducts. The affinities can be transferred one by one. What's the expected damage scale? Combat capability, I'm guessing. I remember them saying that the risk levels were determined based on the enkephalin production rates, which is not the most meaningful information to us who have to fight them directly. It was a tad inconvenient to put a nebulous idea like combat capabilities into a singular numerical scale of power. Certain entities have idiosyncrasies and variables that may make such a linear measure quite meaningless. So, instead, we decided to measure the expected amount of damage that Limbus Company personnel might suffer should they engage these entities in battle. While this Time Ripper poses very little threat against the Sinners due to your idiosyncrasies, the unique nature of their weapon means they can immediately deal a nigh-fatal blow to anyone from the LCC department with a single strike. That is why this distortion was given a rather high expected damage scale of 6, from a scale of 1 to 10. Please do note this is not a perfect system, and these values are there only as references. Will this standard be applied to abnormalities as well? We have plans to do so, yes. Risk levels and the expected damage scales will be coming before their classification codes. Speaking of which, I have something to show you all. What is it? What else other than the monolith? One of the highest potential values among Limbus Company's businesses. Thus, the development of transportation, management, and processing methodologies of the monolith is a glowing achievement indeed. The artifact, by its very nature, poses a great danger. I hesitate to embrace its use so willingly. A great danger? But wouldn't you say that we are beset by danger at all times? The arbitrariness in deciding how dangerous something is comes from the degree of which it poses a risk. As you must already know, the monolith here is a device that can force the distortion. It is scattered throughout the city just like a golden bow, at first only in position of the fingers and the syndicates of the backstreets, to now being collected by companies both large and small and nameless. Like a plague. Oh. Urban plague classification? We also learned that they've become rather high priority targets for some wings out there. Oh, that's not good. As luck would have it, we managed to begin our research, expedition, and collection of the monoliths much earlier than the others. Now, we are already at the stage in which we will partake in the processing and the sales of these artifacts, expanding our business ventures. You could say that we narrowly avoided the very unsavory fate of having to tussle with the wings for the possessions of these artifacts. Because we may have had to confront the wings directly, were that the case. What? Asking out of pure curiosity here, what would happen if we were ever assigned a city threat level? Is she? How about we don't ask questions we don't ever want to find out the answers to? I mean, what if we, due to some contractual shenanigans, end up going against the associations? I think it'd be a good thing to know ahead of time, just in case. Seems like a question worth entertaining to me. Let's see, from Canard to starve the city, I suppose your assignment will be somewhere between Urban Plague and Urban Nightmare. Not SOC yet, are we? It almost sounds as if you want to be given a threat level. It is true that you, upon first sight, due to your revival powers and potential of the identity technology, may appear to pose a rather troublesome risk. However, you have a very clear and obvious weakness. Indeed, all of our advantages will become moot upon the manager's death. Hohenheim slowly turns around to look at me, prompting Faust and the other sinners to follow suit. What if we protected them, though? I am impressed by your optimism, given the kinds of enemies you have faced thus far. We don't even need to go so far back in time to discuss the incidents with the Fixer Siegfried or Big Brother Ricardo I read from your reports. Should the third sinner suddenly seek to attack the manager with their full might, do you truly believe that the rest of you would be enough to protect them? No. The flow of this world is that the manager will be preserved, that no such thing may come to pass. The flow of this world. Destiny? That's enough, Hohenheim. Any further divulgence, and Faust will open a disciplinary committee to discuss the consequences of your careless words. Not there yet, are we? Very well. Whichever is the case, you do have the potential to become a star of the city threat at some time in the future. But do remember that it would be best if you could avoid that unfortunate designation. And please, don't forget that is only true so long as you have Limbus Company's backing. And now it's time for the final. We're going to go look at the monolith. Yep, final checkup. It's a dungeon. We're almost done with the regular checkup. Finally, we have a chance for you to overcome an adversary based on what you have learned thus far. And for me to prove my hypothesis. What hypothesis is he talking about? No need to worry, my hypotheses have never been wrong. Most of the time. This experiment is entirely of my own design and supervision. And I will faithfully follow my own pure curiosities and instincts as a researcher. That's the monolith. Guys, I have a feeling we're not gonna like where this goes. Now, do you see this monolith here? Yep, I do. That's a monolith, alright, but... don't you worry. My researchers will be the ones to activate the artifact. Activate the artifact? Not on you, relax. I understand that none of you would be willing participants to this experiment. I swear, if you're going to force it to distort, saying that we have no right to refuse or something, I'm just gonna... Yeah, hang on. I can't let you do that, even as your assistant. Yes, but if you must, we are willing to send the weakest sinner among us for... Otis, no. Forget I said that. That was foolish of me to say. I will be the subject of the experiment myself. You're going to distort yourself? Am I hearing you right? Aren't you curious to see what kind of distortion you'd end up becoming? I'm sure this is a question you have all entertained at least once. No. I ain't curious, and I ain't a very pleasant experience either. Stop gritting your teeth like that, assistant. It will have an adverse effect on your long-term dental health. What if you just end up turning into a peculatum? You could end up becoming a peculatum, just another one of the fodder we slaughtered our way through the tests earlier. You're risking that? It is indeed a possibility. It would signify nothing more than my very own limitations. Just a mediocre shell. If such an incident comes to pass, these employees will transport me to a containment unit. We even made a bet on what kind of peculatum I would turn into. He bet on Gule, I bet on Nvidia, and her Picradate. But how could you... Think about it like this. If I were to become a peculata, it would be akin to losing at a game of chance. Of course, what counts as a loss may depend on what I, at that precise time, consider to be losing. But the mere fact of turning into peculatum relieves me of any value to life. I'd say he was being too hard on himself, but that felt too simple an expression to describe his tone. The company would most likely attempt to transport me to a containment unit, but I disagree with that decision. I would like to ask you to dispose of me on the spot. I'm well aware that I'm not the kind of contingent person who earns others' favor at first meeting, if at all. I also don't believe that our brief relationship has been the most actable in kind. Therefore, I see little reason why you would hesitate to cut me down. Of course, sinners with gentle hearts, like this young Sinclair here, may express certain distaste against this decision. But once I become a peculatum, it may as well be that Hohenheim, the entity, has ceased to be. So I hope no unnecessary emotions like guilt clouds your mind. Judgment and killing the peculatum, a mere byproducts. But what if something unexpected happens? We're talking about your life here. Don't you have any manuals with backup plans, or... This is a very simple matter, nothing more than a coin flip. Heads or tails. It appears that you are still insisting on your absurd 50-50 theory. I am a researcher who wishes to humiliate the field of mathematical statistics, unlike the general lay of the academia. I believe that there is a certain romanticism to research. It is much more exciting to run as many tests and gain as many samples as we can than to be stuck behind a desk, pouring day and night over books and paper, isn't it? If it's tails, then you may dispose of me immediately, and the employees here will take care of the rest. Don't forget to destroy the key inside that coat pocket, and the files inside my cabinets, for example. Yes, we remember. If I were to successfully distort, we would be halfway to the success. For the first time, I'm feeling quite the envy for you all. I wish I could be a witness to my very own distortion. If you've been paying attention to my lectures, perhaps you could even come up with a classification code for my distortion too, going by the standards we've discussed earlier. Not that I have a very high expectation that you would. I've recently come to the realization that people nodding along to my words is not a signifier of comprehension, but instead an expression of societal niceties. Yeah? Then, the manager here will open the entrance to my dungeon of the Fathoms. And you will progress through the mirror dungeon, as you have always done when facing the distortion, to reach into its deepest fathoms to face my distortion once again. I wish you the best of luck in your suppression efforts. Next session. And once you've made it that far, it is likely that you will find me unconscious, or, if luck would have it, conscious. Unconscious? Are you sure this is safe? A degree of case-by-case variance is to be expected. It may take some time for full recovery, but it will happen should you succeed. That reminds me. If that's how this bamboo-headed Kim was brought back as well. Bamboo-headed Kim? He's recovered? He is safely contained within our facilities. It seems that they are ready to activate the monolith. I'm confident that I, even as a distortion, will be quite the exceptional specimen. I heard that squelch. Hang on, just like that? You're not a peculatum. Indeed, and I can still hear them. Yes, I remember. I still do. I know he'll be back, but gosh, this is pretty unnerving. Don't worry, we'll bring him back no matter what. The manager says we'll bring him back no matter what. Sure sounds like a dependable sort, this manager of yours. Very well. Please, take a look at this. Is this a note? Did he write us tips on how to do this or something? He says that all you have to do is read what's on that note in front of his distortion. Apparently, it's some kind of a code. I don't think he'll hear anything but ticking noises from me. Can you read this, Merceau? It will be done as you commanded. Merceau nodded, then began to read the words from the note aloud. Lobotomy Corporation, 5 minutes, potentiality, anticipation, right hand. The moment Merceau uttered them, the all-too-familiar portal began to appear around Hohenheim's distortion, as though they were a key to a door. Lobotomy Corporation, 5 minutes, potentiality, anticipation, right hand. Scattering shards of familiar alien sights appeared intermediately beyond the shimmering veil. Hohenheim had already entered that portal as we stood there gawking. We could still hear his voice echoing throughout the laboratory. Wait, I forgot to, where the fuck? I'll just have to go for my last message. I forgot to... we're live with the Limbus company. We're finishing up Hohenheim's lectures and then moving on to Intervallo 2. Finishing we're finishing the lectures, then moving on to Intervallo 2. I forgot to lectures. We're finishing the lectures, then moving on to Intervallo 2. I'll just post it here. Heldenheim had already entered the portal. We stood there gawking, but we could still hear his voice echoing throughout the laboratory. Wait, Hohenheim. Hohenheim, not Hohenheim. Hohenheim's concluding his lectures. Hohenheim lectures are concluding, and then off to Intervallo 7-2. There we go. That's better. I suppose I'll be forced to share my past here. The past I never wanted to share. The past no one cares to learn about. It is something I must endure for the sake of this experiment. However, I needn't expose every little detail of it. Oh, this is an L-Corp facility. It's all in the past, isn't it? That's an L-Corp facility. Ooh. What the hell? Hohenheim Fathoms. We're at the starting point of the Dungeon Fathoms. We find ourselves in the room that appears to be a workshop of ego gears. If you've scored below 100% synchronization in the aptitude test, take only a single ego from here. An ominous warning sign greets us all, and the same words repeat ceaselessly from the speaker. The sinners all go take a look, enticed by the sign telling us that we can pick up ego gears here, but we find our ego gifts. What? These aren't ego gifts? These are them gifts or something, right? It appears that ego are manifest here in the shape of gifts. Can't we just take them all? This is a dungeon of the Fathoms. As it differs from the usual mirror dungeons, it is highly advisable that its rules are followed. What should we do? The Flaming Gauntlet. Clean Solution Spray is... I think I know what that is. I'm going to take the Clean Solution Spray. This one seems to be best suited for the situation we're in. We'll take the Illusory Hunt Ego Gift. Yep. Focus on the counter start. Damage up to all allies. Okay. Okay. Honestly, that's a freaking... Doesn't matter which one I take. I'll just take this one. Because that's more options. Oh, let's select the 12. Hey Show, Lobotomy's Way, Blade Lineage, Peckwad Harpooneer, W Corp, Fang Hunt, Blade Lineage, One You Shall Grip, Synced is Way. The battle.
출진.
L Corp Branch Control Team. It looks like they're wearing an aberration of Void Dream? What's going on with them? Good. Good. It appears that I can censor those with my own will, at least to a degree. Your mission here is to classify my distortion, reach the end of this dungeon of the Fathoms, and bring me back. Your mission, however, does not involve digging into my past. This is... It appears that we have a passing familiarity with this place. You... us? What is it that they seek to convey? I don't believe any level of proper communication will be feasible, given that you are in a dungeon of the Fathoms. Well, then do something about it. I regret to tell you that the setting of this dungeon is out of my hands. Had it been up to me, I would have had manifested a place that was much more fascinating than this. Like that library, fabled to have every book in existence. You used to work for the Lobotomy Corporation? One of my past careers, yes. Us? Diplomacy did not seem to be an option here. The censored people brandished their weapons, threateningly, and stood in our path. Looks like we're gonna have to take them down if we want to make it any progress here. Can't be helped. Let's get ready for a fight. Let's see. Because it is some Lob Corp. Yeah, that's Void Dream, right? Censor the Lobotomy Corp agents. Level 3 agents. Oh, they had levels too? Okay. They are Rupture, Rupture, Rupture. With a guard that is that's good. And then, yeah, Teeth. No, it's not it's a, whatchamacallit, Lantern. Yeah, Lantern. If it's targeted by 2 plus units, gain plus coin boost. Okay, don't do that. On hit, heal 5 plus HP. Censored Carnage. After attack, if the target is either staggered or defeated, raise this unit's max HP. Okay. By 20% of max HP to 100 count. Censored Justice. If the units failed, raise minimax speed and gain damage up. Uncanny Lantern. Combat start, gain 1 fragile for every unit that targeted this unit. If all enemies attack this unit, attack weight +1 and gain its offense level. Do. We want to win these classes. It's just a lot of favored and 1 neutral. Come on, people. Just get through. Oh, there's a Saggers. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, praise the sight and sound. Kill them, Faust. They don't belong in this world. Doop-a-doo, and dead. Oh, damn it, actually 12 HP left. Close enough. There we go. Come on. Come on. Okay. Is there more enemies coming? No, there aren't. Okay, so let's just kill them all. Doop-a-doo, da-da-doo, da-da-doo, oh, that is a high roller. Wow. 21? One, 2. Healed 1 HP. That's not great. Favored. Unopposed. 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 What? Oh, why are you attacking your... Okay. If you want to attack your ally, feel free. That's just going to give me more stuff. I'm completely fine with this. Yep, and there's the guard, and we'll stagger. Nice. And dead. Thank you, Roja. And dead. It isn't dead. Dawn killed it. Okay. There we go. I probably should look at the background there. I'll take the bottom one. Fuck it. Several researchers were moving around busily in a hectic-looking laboratory. Did something escape? Or something? We stood up there, gawking at the mess. Someone walked up to the sinners. Get out of my way! Actually, you know what? Perfect timing. Eat this. Come on, we don't have much time to the clinical trial report deadline. Eat it. Eat the food. Who will step forth and eat the food? Ishmael will eat the food. Yes. Ishmael's face lights up with surprise as soon as they take a swig of the researcher's potion. The potion seems to have eliminated a great deal of stress from Ishmael. Their eyes are practically twinkling. This clinical trial is a success. Thanks for volunteering. Please take this. It's one of our newest line of medicines. Oh. Enhancer Mark IV obtained. Healed over 30 HP and SP. Enhancer Mark IV. On hit with the final coin against enemies with a 15 minus rupture potency. We use base attack skill to increase rupture potency or count. That's a lot of conditionals. What? Why? Why do you have that much conditionals? It's not... Ah, whatever. So, how do we know this guy's actually distorted? He doesn't sound any different from his usual self. The sanity degradation to distortion affects every subject differently. I mean, yeah, but this censoring his own fathoms? But, Honaheim, you're in a dungeon of the fathoms. We will see through it with Dante's powers, whether you want to show us or not. You make a fair assessment. How about this, then? If you are to see them anyway, allow me to save you the trouble and give you a quick rundown. Instead, Come visit me as soon as you finish watching my tale. This tale began when that man walked into my laboratory. Yes, I had a personal laboratory all to myself. One of the few perks of being an elite researcher. This guy's just telling this story however he wants to, isn't he? Mr. Honenheim. Oh, he's a researcher in Malku's team. Let me think. I don't quite remember what he looked like. Something I like this, perhaps. Whichever is the case. I was planning to censor his appearance anyway. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about something. That is Central Command theme. No, it isn't. Stop. Are you here to express your displeasure with me? The what now? If you are, do let me know from the get-go. I had a feeling it was about time this would happen. 3 months? Not a bad record for working without a workplace conflict. Oh, if this is about quitting, then you would find a much better audience among the human resources team. No, I mean, I'm just here to thank you. For picking me, some dude from the back streets, to work here. I heard it was you who made the hiring decision. I don't know how to put this, but you're the only one who saw my... what's the word? My potentiality. You saw something that no one's ever cared to look into before, you know what I mean? But it had nothing to do with something so grandiose like his potentiality. A wing does not hire people from the back streets for something so insignificant. While this information has never been publicly available, Lobotomy Corporation's primary criterion was trauma. Candidates with horrible, insurmountable trauma were often favored by the company. And, in an indirect way, it was only natural that they would begin to favor candidates who originate from the back streets. Your greetings are acknowledged, Jimmy. Now, feel free to leave my office. Alright, Jimmy. Anyways, I've been meaning to ask Mr. Hohenheim, why do you always enjoy being alone? It may come as a surprise to you, but I'm very adept at spending my time on my own. It is one of the hundreds of distinguishing features that set me apart from the ordinary men. Say, don't you need someone to be like your loyal right-hand man? My right hand is doing just fine. Thank you very much. Do you believe in potentialities, Hohenheim? What an unrelentingly stubborn employee he was, even in hindsight. Thanks to you, I do. And I've been thinking, if I keep at it, one day I might even find myself living at large in a nest. Change my world little by little. Kinda like how a thing like me managed to snag a position here at Lobotomy Corporation. So, I'm thinking here, that I want to stick around in your circle. To bring about such drastic changes to one's life is in the realm of feasibility for an exceptional resources like myself, indeed. But you are, like most of the rabble, painfully average in most quantities, and therefore unlikely to be moving force in that change. Fucking hell, Hohenheim. I have no faith in universal things like potentiality. I have faith in myself and myself alone. Besides, I'm not very partial to mathematical statistics, like the probability theory anyway. So, I would like to keep both my right and left hands as my own. Have a nice day. Want to know something about me? I'm the kind of guy who doesn't really think about things. Action before deliberation, you get me? Thoughtless and carefree. Possibly the only merit to be found in those who originate from the back streets. Or was that a thinly veiled threat of physical assault? Nah, I'm talking about the new Abno that just got shipped here. It's a tricky one to manage, I'll tell you what. It reads your mind, screwing up all kinds of strategies or whatever, as long as it's based on hard logic. Want to shoot for the Department of the Year award together? You seem to be rather skilled in the art of transactions. One of the few merits found in those originating backstreets. I will admit, I suppose I was overcome by a certain ennui back then. In hindsight, it was foolish of me to engage in such inane conversations. You let us. The remnants of my past come to haunt us. Perhaps it is I whom they truly wish to hurt. You let us? This is either control or information department. But you let us. You let us die? What is it? Come on. Take care of them. Trace the sight and sound. Boop-a-doo. 1, 2, 3. And they're already dead, of course. Because Faust takes no prisoners, like at all. He will kill everything. And everyone but two of them are staggered. Unopposed, dominating, unopposed, unopposed, dominating, unopposed, unopposed. Go! Kill them! Kill them all! Let Ayan sort them out. That's another stagger, that's another death. 1, 2, not dead yet, but now dead. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go. Clearing the path, my lord. 1, dead. Then blink step. 1, 2, 3, dead. Arcana Pierce, it's going to die. Doesn't matter you got coin power, because Arcana Pierce does so much goddamn damage. Roach is just such a big unit. Victory! Ah, it's finally here, the Department of the Year award. Indeed, I have finally done it. With some minor assistance from you, of course, and some other employees. Come on, admit it. Don't you know that a lot more employees are saying hello, good morning, and what you have you in the hallways compared to when your reputation was a bit, you know? It's all because I'm just that good of a right-hand man. I will admit that your intuitive and spontaneous eye was of some assistance when it came to identifying certain observations among abnormalities. This is the potentiality I was talking about, man. The same thing you saw in me when you decided to get me on board. Apologies for ruining the moment, but the next few years quickly and busily flew by without much trouble. Of course, we picked up ourselves a few more Department of the Year awards, some promotions, and some collaborative researchers. Yet, all things must come to an end. The infamous fall of the Botany Corporation, for one. You left us. So, I don't suppose you have any trouble hazarding what they're all telling on me, even as the words come out fragmented. You left us. Nothing but words of endless resentment. You left us behind. The fall of the former L Corp. I remember what Miss Yuri told us. The site crumbled in an instant, trapping the employees in there with the abnormalities. What is this sound? The whole structure's quaking. What the hell's... Initiating site burial in 100 seconds. Any remaining employees must immediately evacuate the structure. Counting down. 95. 94. The escape pods to the surface are here, but there's only one seat left. They're saying that the next one's in 5 minutes. Listen closely. At the risk of sounding rather callous, I must inform you that the chance of survival in cases of crises such as this is usually granted only to a very small minority of those affected. Some, who prioritize the fairness of the process, may settle on primitive methods such as drawing lots to see who gets to escape. And in more barbaric groups, the survivor would be decided by none other than the rule of might. However, I am glad to find myself among those who are on the side of intelligence. So I make this an argument, a suggestion before you. Compare yourselves, whose sole final purpose in life is clinging to your mediocre office jobs and making good on your debt payments. And me, who has produced several groundbreaking epochial theses and research results at an early age, whose life in your eyes is of greater worth. Yes, and that is how this tale ends. The compound collapses 90 seconds later. I left the employees of my department behind and boarded the escape pod elevator and survived. How could you? Without even a hint of remorse. Wrath is a hideous emotion. I am here today only because I've always maintained a cold, rational head. The L Corp branch within Hohenheim's Dungeon of the Fathoms begins to crumble. It almost appears as though his heart was crumbling as well. Well, now that that's over with, I invite you to come face me, the distortion. And the experiment will come to an end. But just finding and defeating his distortion in a fight I don't think that I'll bring him back. I just know it. I agree. We're still in deep waters here. This can't possibly be all there is to it. Do. It doesn't matter which one I take. Oh, you see the Fey Lantern with the containment unit. A cyan-hued fairy flutters through the wiry ancient branches of the tree and softly lands on one of them. The branch seed in the fairy sways as though to entice us to get closer to them. Bright, countless yellow eyes glimmer from the shadows beneath its roots. What a beautiful specimen, this Fey Lantern. Have you finished your observations? We've learned a lot about the abnormality recently. There's still a lot of unknowns, but still. Speaking of me, Glitch, here's a pop quiz. What ego gift can you get from Fey Lantern? I think, Fey Lantern. I'm not really that certain. Midwinter Nightmare, I think? Find the money, you know, your Fey Lantern. But that's not all. Reason is giving out these things, too. Take this with you. I'm just glad they've run into a kindred soul. Receive a bony twig. Seems to have come directly from Fey Lantern itself. Ego gift twigs. Wow, that's just a lot of Rupture stuff. Okay. I'm not really using Rupture right now, so, thank you, but that's not helpful.
아마도
Time to kill the Peculata. This music is 1, 2, 3, staggered, hopefully at least. By Manager Esquire's orders. Thank you, Dawn. You're always a lifesaver. With the power of justice. Sadly, it didn't kill. But the counter only did 1 damage, so we're fine. 1 and 2. Then draw the sword. Draw the sword. 1, 2. Thank you. 2 dead. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Come on, let's go. 1 down. Now sever not. Eat flowing breath. Yep. Thank you, pizza. 1, 2, 3. Because you're not at max stamina yet. We need that there. With love, yeah. And then with the power of justice. Victory. Yeah. I'll go up for the first time.
정리 시간이다.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, I would not have gone up if I knew it was you guys. Bastards. Bastards. Do 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 do. Bounce, 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 bounce. Do 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 do. Okay, crazy sight and sound beats decay collision. Come on, jump. 1, 2, 3. Nowhere near enough to stagger. The decay collision hits her. 2 SP on 2 SP. The Manager Esquire's orders, we win. Yep. Doop doop. With the power of justice. 1, 2, 3. Then yield my flesh. Loses. Perfect. And now to claim their bones. Of course you. Fuck off. Can't let you through. 1, 2, 3. I need more soap to get more SP. Stock spray. Wow. I'm not even gonna try to attack you with anyone else. Wow. And then take this back. Let's go. Clearing the path, my lord. 1, 2, 3. She's at a lot lower health than I thought she would be. There we go. Arcana Pierce beats Cascading Gloom. Come on, Roja. 1, 2, and 3. Almost there. I do not care about Roja taking SP damage. Ward. 1, 2, and 3. Just barely not enough to stagger. Acupuncture beats the Peculatum Goulet. 1, 2, 3. Then Stock Spray. How are you not staggered, bud? How are you not staggered? You're 2 HP. You have 2 HP. Dominating. There we go. Take this back. Down. Clearing the path, my lord. 1, 2, 3. It's almost staggered. Come on. The manager Esquire's orders. 1, 2. Then draw the sword. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2. Then the Night Sanctuary. You can't breach it. You can't beat Roja's Innermost Sanctum. And it's dead. And now we focus on this bitch. Of course we're out of high damage skills. Why wouldn't we be out of high damage skills? I just want to use a nuke turn. 1, 2, 3. Swanic Greatsword. 1, 2. Draw the sword. 1, 2. And then Magical Girl Arcana beats. Arcana beat. 1, 2. It's down. Victory. Helnheim's Fathoms. Into the hallway, a group of researchers having a discussion in front of an unnaturally dark place. Noticing our presence, their faces brighten up as they approach us. Please, will you investigate this area ahead for us? We will help with the best of our abilities, should you accept. We'll investigate. Let's have a look. Pride and Envy. Who will accept? Heathcliff. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the season proper enthusiasm. Yes, I like your attitude. Take this with you. It'll help you in your investigations. After entering the gear, the researchers walked up to the sinners and began examining them. Once they were finished, the sinners were all in tip-top shape again. All highlights filled up at full HP, thank you. Irregular operational gear obtained. Limbus company identities, skill 2, and if they're 4+. So that's completely worthless. That's completely worthless for me. Great. And now it's time for the next part of Helnheim's Fathoms. Odanunga. We arrived at the entrance to Helnheim's laboratory. This may be our final order to you. Either suppress me and return safe and sound to where you came from, or fail the suppression, place me in a containment unit, and perhaps we can observe what happens next. That's when Heathcliff suddenly strode forward. Odenheim, do you still believe in that potentiality? I do. That's what keeps me going. You only hire researchers from the back streets, don't you? I've heard from earlier. They told me that you're a right promptest bloke, but thanks to you, they can continue to research and believe that there might be things in the world that's worth working toward. Oh, he didn't like that. He didn't like Heathcliff bringing that up, like, at all. Let's have a look at you. Distorted Hohenheim. Undefined. You got Poise. Tremor. Your Poise Tremor identity. Gain shield. Encounter start. Apply 1 subjective observation. Turn start. Gain 3 stacks. Gain 1 stack every time this unit deals or takes damage from an attack skill against Sword Hohenheim. Takes more damage from enemies and deals on hit takes HP damage equal to it. Oh, that's not great. Then gain poise potency against equal to any number of enemies with it. On turn 3, gain new pattern, use a parrot plus skill. After turn 3 of activate effects, when it has unit 30 plus poise count. Didn't take any HP damage. Greatly enhances the skill. Poise potency every time they inflict. Poise count every time they take damage. Defense mechanism, gain shield equals 30% of missing HP. Turn start, and then if it has burn, lose that. And takes more damage from rupture. The shield is gained due to this effect is destroyed. For the rest of the encounter, gain 1 defense down for every instance the shield has been destroyed. Confirmation bias, if intended speed from targets with higher speed this unit. Max 3 in descending order of SP, cannot stack with the same target, and does not activate if Hohenheim is panicked. If panicked, reset as 0 SP, and your panic type is Anguish. Wait, Anguish? That looks like... Oh, it's using the same style as the L-Corp. Yeah. Do, 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 do. I have no lust. Huh. Do, 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 do. Do 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 Heathcliff can't take any of those, okay. So I'll take this one. Then Ishii, take this. Heathcliff, attack. Come on, with love. Yeah. 1 and 2. Then Blink Step. 1, 2. With the Power of Justice, inflict more sinking. 1, 2, 3. Draw the sword. Draw the sword. Do. We're at 25 SP now. Negative 25. 29. Ooh. And Stock Prey. Now the SP drain has happened. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We have no tremor count, so that's completely fine to go off. Then Faust. Come on. Then Magical Girl. Heathcliff. 1, 2. Come on. With the Power of Justice, we will be conduct analysis. 1, 2, 3. 2. That goes through. Then clearing the path, my lord. 1, 2, 3. Nice. With love. Yeah. 1, 2. Snag Harpoon. You can't roll for shite, bud. Can't let you through. 1, 2, 3. And then draw the sword, beat the shield. Do 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 do. No 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 no. Wow wow. Do 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 do. We want to deplete his shield, I know that much. So Arcana Pierce can go through fine. As long as we save 1 good skill. With that, especially if it's hers. Let's go. Deal damage. Blink Step. By Manager Esquire's orders. The Contemplation. Arcana Pierce. 1, 2, and 3. Come on. Contemplation. Ward. 1, 2, and 3. Deal more damage. Draw the sword. 1, 2. Contemplation. Heathcliff. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Trigger a sinking sequence. But, if you will, Faust, everyone else just use your regular skills. You don't want to waste anything here. Faust, go on. The Night Sanctuary. Trace the sight and sound. Beats it. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Trigger sinking sequence. That is fine. By Manager Esquire's orders, we have no lust resource, so I guess fluid stack ain't gonna come online anytime soon. Acupuncture, 1, 2, 3. Then stock tray. What plagues your mind, Manager? Your suppression efforts seem to be smooth sailing. Exactly have you seen, Manager? Save for a few parts that were censored, I concealed nothing from your view. I don't believe that I committed any wrong by escaping that place alone, leaving the others to be buried there. Of course it'd be reprehensible from a moral standpoint, but how did anyone ever look at it from that standpoint, Manager? Especially when you're well aware in this city, such a perspective is entirely irrelevant and worthless. I can feel his gaze upon me. Like you said, the suppression is going well, but this feels wrong. That it shouldn't end like this. What should I tell him? What is Hohenheim trying to hide from us? I think the SP is the thing that's most annoying. I can do all the damage and everything, but SP. There's another side to the story that you've told me. Faust relayed my words to Hohenheim. Another side to my story, is it? Indeed, that's quite feasible. You're correct. That other side is what often get lost in the process of obsession over precious concepts like the fathoms in the heart. Speaking from a consequential point of view, the directive preserved by one's memory is narrow by nature. Even the fathoms, the deepest parts of one's heart, where many believes lies are nothing but the empirical, absolute truth, we are still capable of lying. Fascinating, isn't it? They call it metacognitive error. Some call it unconscious bias as well. I see. You argue that the story that I've shown you is simply a fabrication. Indeed, I have not shared any perspectives from my employee. But there's no way by which we may verify them anyway. Isn't it obvious why that is? They're all buried underground, breathed even of their final words. I finally understand, at least to a degree, what Virgilius and Don Quixote have been telling me. There was nothing to call though there was nothing to call a human face remaining in this distorted form. I think I caught a glimpse of loneliness from Hohenheim's expression. Self-doubt. What is self-doubt? Where is that? Where is self-doubt? Because that's the new one I have. Yep. Turn start, lose 15 SP, and only heal 5 every turn. Okay. Roja, I'm fine with you going down. Everyone else, just start actually doing your work. Neutral failure. Okay. Dismantle. Puncture. Then Heathcliff. Dominating and favored. Do. Come on. Clearing the path, my lord. 1, 2, 3. Then minor beats, major arcana. Come on. Thank you, Dawn. I swear to God, if you lost that, I would have been so annoyed. Save. Nice. Your shield beats compression. Acupuncture beats that. 1, 2, 3. Then 10 more. Heathcliff, can you do 10 damage? Yes, you can. Perfect. Roja is in the negatives. It begins. Wow. I want to save that. Do I have Heathcliff? Conduct analysis, please. Favored. Neutral. That has attack weight, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, so all this 4 are taken. Go. Blink step. Come on. Thank you. Oh, that was annoying. Oh, closer than I wanted. By Manager Esquire's orders. 1, 2. Then sever not. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Conduct analysis goes through. Faded Faith. 1, 2. Way Knight Greatsword. 1, 2. Draw the sword. Perfection. Okay, I don't have enough for fluid sac. Damn it, I just don't have any lust. That's annoying. I guess we're just gonna kill. Come on, let's kill. Clearing the path, my lord. Well, let's see what kind of damage it is. Is it bleed type damage where it doesn't stagger, or is it the other type of damage where it does stagger? Yep. We'll see on Ishmael. Come on, Ishmael. Will you stagger from this? 1, 2, 3. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Acupuncture. Okay. Contemplation. Heathcliff. Fox Prey. We're almost there. In that's not great. That's also not great. Come on. Why do you have so much? What did you gain? Why are you so much stronger now? That's not good. Dawn, can you beat this? Yes, you can. You're gonna go in hysteria soon anyway, so might as well do this. You have decent amount of charge, so sure. Everyone else just damage him. Actually, does Ishmael or Roja have one that could work on him? Because if they do, I want the Roja can't, because she's in the negatives right now. She's in the positive, she could have. What about Heathcliff? Like, asymmetrical inertia? Favored, but not dominating. Okay. Come on. Well, in the name of love and hate, here comes a magical girl. Come on, Dawn. Win the clash, girl. Thank you. Heed me, thou art more reserved than justice, and more crimson than love. She'll make this host delight. Let your strength merge refined, so you may love the power of love to all. Arcana slave. 39. Then 65. Up to 88. And then some healing. Trigger sinking event. A couple staggers, which is annoying. Faded Faith. 1, 2. Faded Faith again. It seems to me there was something else you would like to tell me. Very well, you may go ahead and ask. I'm prepared to answer any of your questions. I feel Hohenheim's gaze lingering on me. What should I say this time? What is Hohenheim trying to hide from us? What if you feel like what you did was in the wrong? Faust relayed my words to Hohenheim. I see that you may have arrived at that conclusion, but you are incorrect. I've already done much contemplation regarding the matter, and I've concluded a long time ago that what I've done is indeed no wrong. Let us say this in advance, and I am a rare breed of researcher who detests the study of probabilities and statistics. I, Hohenheim, am not the kind to make rational suggestions such as drawing lots, see who gets to survive. I'm not the kind to partake in some barbaric contest of strength to survive either. Indeed, there is no other recourse. My only option is to come up with an argument that could ultimately vain before the urge to survive. Argue for my survival on the grounds I was most useful one out of us all. However, they all made rather objective decision for me. They overcame their base desires for mere survival and made a forward-thinking decision for the future. So, no, I have no reason to believe what I did was wrong. It shouldn't be wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. This wasn't a sin. Even as someone defended himself, it seemed as though some sense of responsibility was pulling him down. Especially those last words, I could barely sense his usual air of confidence. Adaption becomes maladaption. What is maladaption? That's a passive. Maladaption. It replaces adaption. Okay. Gain 1 poise potency. Every time it deals damage to attack. When at 15 plus, gain additional poise potency, but reduce the target's subject of observation. That's helpful. Because we are taking much damage due to that. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, do 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 do. Will probably lose. No, could lose. He's at a very low percentage. Ishii. Dominating. Roja doesn't need this. Everyone else does. Come on. Stay on the path, my lord. 1, 2, 3. And now, with the Tear Sharpened Sword, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did so much damage. Reverse Beat, Reverse Arcana Slave. Come on. 1, 2, 3. 217 damage. Stock Prey. That wins. Duenite Greatsword. She is almost dead. Acupuncture. He's reached negative 45 SP. Panic. Anguish. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Depression. Roja. Heathcliff. Ishii. I guess you'll do it. You'll be conduct analysis. No, you'll do it. Go. Okay. Blink step. 1, 2. Then with love. Come on. You can do this. I believe in you, Dawn. And smashing. With the Tear Sharpened Sword. Roja does so much goddamn damage. It doesn't even track it, which is somewhat annoying. Because just looking at the damage numbers purely, it looks like a ton. Oh, it's almost staggered. Yield my flesh. Not staggered yet. Combat analysis. Contemplation. Duenite Greatsword. 1, 2. Staggered! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kill. The manager Esquire's orders. 1, 2. Can't let you through. 1, 2, 3. Then draw the sword. 2. Trace the sight and sound. Whoop. Faust, kill Hellenheim, please. Snag Harpoon. And Roja will do it. Thank you, Roja. The escape houses surface are here, but there's only one seat left. They're saying that the next one's in 5 minutes. Look, I don't actually believe you hired me because you saw my potential or something like that. But I want to believe that you found the hope and potentialities because of me. A hope and anticipation that we can make things better as long as we keep at it. I can't leave you all behind. I can't just save my skin without everyone. This is what a right-hand man does, isn't it? Take my potentiality you found in Rise. Take it with you to the surface. But you, Johan, what about you? Well, maybe next time, some other time. Wrath is a hideous emotion. That is why I did nothing at the entrance of that branch. Only remembering. Nothing more. He's lying. Remembering the ones I've left behind. I can sense the dungeons of the Fathoms slowly begin to close. Sometime later... Ah, I've returned, safe and sound. Ah, welcome back, boss. To be frank, I once wished to be someone like yourself, Heathcliff. What are you talking about? We don't want Heathcliff to be like Heathcliff. Because it's not easy to put my faith, not in games of numbers, but in those slimmest potentialities of the world, and continue to exist. I know it's not very befitting a researcher to be so, but it is quite the romantic attitude for a human to embody, is it not? Well, the experiment is over. It was a huge success, all thanks to us, right? No, it was a failure. I had established this hypothesis that the sole answer was to hold up a firm belief in the self, and nothing else. Had my hypothesis been correct, I would have remained a distortion. Thus, I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you. Thank you for making me fail. It seems that the classification for my distortion was T-5, thus Sue. Sue. What is Sue? Disappointing. Disappointingly mediocre, but I suppose it can be helped. Sue. Not gloom, not gluttony, not wrath. Is that lust? I don't think it's lust. The world is a place in which you must find the ray of potentiality among the mediocre, after all. Let us move on now. Limbus the Philophes is prepared to depart. Oldheim's researchers waved at us. Well, meet again, right? Ew. No, thank you. Everything has an end, so do consider this to be our final meeting. Down to the last exchange, this guy. The last thing we saw before the portal activated were the LCE researchers pushing up their glasses in our general direction. Though I had only taken a step or two, the entire world around us seemed to transform, leading us back inside the transportation and instrument. Now that I think about it, we didn't even get to learn why Gregor's bones made those cracking noises. All we learned from this experiment is that the sinners have all become mediocre, but they each had certain potentialities between themselves. Each of us mulling over the events at the LCE, we returned to the bus where Charon and Virgilius were waiting for us. Perfection. Yep, of course it's Faust. Fucking course it's Faust. It's always Faust. What the fuck? Why does H-Corp look like a goddamn Rubik's Cube? Why is H-Corp a Rubik's Cube? That feels wrong. I'm just gonna... What the hell? Why is H-Corp a Rubik's... Why the fuck is H-Corp a Rubik's Cube? That is... What? I don't understand. Why? Why? Do. Okay. Coast is still streaming. Doop-a-doo. Oh, nocturnal sweeping. Oh, God. Hello, sweepers. I remember you. Is that Hong Lu? Happy New Year. It is time to enter Intervalo 7-2. Nocturnal sweeping. Dante, any idea where the leftover cake from yesterday went? No idea. I mean, why would I know? I can't even eat. Darn. Did Don Kui already get her paws on them? I love Roja's little name for Don, Don Kui. Roja rubbed her tired eyes, muttered something about how we should have partied in her room instead, and stumbled to the back door. The New Year's came swiftly to the inhabitants of the bus after the various incidents at the LCE. The sinners all came from different backgrounds and parts of the city, but annual celebrations for the New Year's seemed to be a thread that connected their cultures together. They began floating the idea of a New Year's party, and... Excellent! Then permit me the honor of hosting this banquet! With her usual overdramatic boast, coupled with the familiar twinkle in her eyes, Don Quixote declared that there would indeed be a New Year's party. And thus it was decided. Again? After all the hell we went through with the back door and whatnot for the out-of-season Christmas celebration? Yet I must insist, for 'twas but an effort to decorate the bus, the intent quite divorced from the act of celebration. Don Quixote glanced at Sinclair, sheepishly scratching the back of her head. Huh? Oh, don't worry about me, really. Well, 'tis true that mine actions have brought quite the distress, unintentionally, I might add, that I ask thee, but dost thou agree that a communal event to mark the occasion might freshen both our spirits and our bodies? I can't even begin to imagine her amnesiac self even taking a moment to give a damn about how Sinclair might take it, but I guess with memory came tact. You know, it's our first ever New Year's together. It sure is an occasion for celebration, huh? Gotta hear that bell go ding to really mark the transition to a new year, right? It seems that we shall be welcoming the first light of the new year, in company of one another. This indeed is a cause for celebration. A bowl of noodles before the last night of the year fades. Classic. Such lovely enthusiasm for me warmeth mine own heart. Forsooth, the grandiosity of this banquet shall be one for the books. Fireworks most brilliant. Enough delicacies to... Karen, when's our next stop? Matthew will be running non-stop for 3 days at least. Only dum-dums stop on a fast road. So she says. Virgilius muttered with his usual sardonic edge, one fist under his chin. Fie! For next year's celebration, the banquet shall be prepared ere the promised hour. Don Quixote's idea of a grand banquet depressingly fizzed into nothingness, but Roger brought out the cakes and cookies she'd stashed in her room so that we could at least hold a small celebration for the New Year's together. After that, we all stayed up together, watched the New Year's first sunrise briefly paint the city in gold, then retired to sleep. When everyone woke up, rubbing their tired eyes, the world outside the bus has completely transformed. Why the fuck is H-Corp a goddamn Rubik's Cube? Or a box. It's just a goddamn box. Is this... Wait, okay, those are houses in the... Is this inspired by Kowloon Walled City? Because I've heard of that. There was a behemoth of a structure, bizarre in its presence, and its walls seemingly made of gargantuan steel plates. H-Corp? The sinners began to voice their surprise, appropriately so, as what came into view was different from any of the nests we'd passed by on our journey thus far. Oh, great. My first viewer today is a bot. Goodbye, bot. Ban. Goodbye. Fuck off. Is that massive structure all one building? If that whole thing's a nest, then what the hell's the box streets? What's big enough to cover H-Corp's territory and then some? Well, there he goes again, asking dumb questions without ever taking a peep at the guidebook. That's not the nest. That huge block you see over there, that's District 8. We call it Hong Yuan, the vast garden, here at H-Corp. The nest lies within the center of the structure, and the back street without. So they squeeze the entire population of this district in there. Do they just not get a ray of sunlight all year round? Well, at least I won't have to worry about the Rhine. Prithee, avail me a sight as well. As the sinners began to gather, one by one, at the other side of the bus, stirred awake from their late night's rest, I felt my gaze drawn towards Hong Lu. I looked for signs of concern or distress on his face, worried. It wasn't exactly something unique to Hong Lu, but the stories about his past home life we've heard throughout the year, whenever he felt like sharing them, were all consistently and terribly depressing. It's not such a bad place once you actually try living here for a while. But his lips, ever so slightly curled upward into a kindly and relaxed smile, are making the same expression as ever. An expression that hasn't changed at all since our first meeting. Maybe it's just a cultural difference, kind of like how Hong Lu can be so nonchalant about things that should give most people pause, but... Actually, no, I'm not helping anyone or anything by entertaining these thoughts. My job, at this moment, is to keep a close eye on Hong Lu, more so than usual. And if the time comes for me to help him, as a manager, I'll give it my all. Besides... Well, this thing you bigger up close! Verily, I carry no recollection of this structure so grand, even in past adventures of mine. If my efforts aren't enough, I know I can trust the sinners to lend me a hand. Hey, let me see too. I collected my thoughts and approached the sinners who were flattened against the glass window to get a good view. There it is, Huangyan, the vast garden. The duel. But we can it's a duel, but we can deploy 6 units. Something about that feels wrong. I thought a duel was one-on-one. Wait, 11? Where's the 12th? Oh, Hong Lu. Forgot to click him. There we go.
마침
피가 범람할 수.
금방 가지.
언제
12.
별로 정화하고
Let's go. I have no lust resources. Once we left the bus. Oh man, can't we be able to get off the bus here? We have to make a formal complaint against H-Corp for this crap. What the hell? What the hell were they thinking doing shoddy construction work at the entrance of the highway that leads straight into the nest? Many causes there are to be construction projects, yet perhaps an early warning sign or our approach to the site would have been a sensible. Were it not for young Sharon's most valiant drifting, I shudder to even imagine the terrible possibilities. 'Twould have been most an awful end to an adventure. It's no surprise that the sinners all had a piece of their mind to speak. As we drove up to the entryway, we unexpectedly came across a mess of badly put together steel plates blocking our path in the middle of the road. Karen quickly spun the bus around, which meant that everyone ended up being thrown about like rag dolls. Good thing there was another road off to the highway that leads into the city, right? I'll bet Karen would have tried the reverse gear all the way back to the last interchange. But looks like we'll be going through all these winding alleyways to get to the nest. It's so dark in here. We were greeted by a dark street upon disembarking from the bus, illuminated only by faint strands of light. It was immediately obvious that we found ourselves in the back streets of H-Corp. Oh, look pretty impressive. Oh, hey, Violin! I did not notice you there. Welcome back. Welcome back, Violin. That's all he wanted, after all. Look pretty impressive from outside, but it's also different from the back street inside, eh? Yep, it's a familiar sight. Gotta say, it's getting real old. I asked thee, is the nest of this district shrouded in such darkness as well? No, these particular sites are limited to the back streets of District 8. The back streets of this district aren't very different from the other ones we've visited in the past. People hurrying through the streets as though they were being chased by something. People scowling and glaring at the ground with some sickness or discomfort. Scenes all too common in every corner of the city. There was one thing about this place that stood out from the other districts, however. They're kind of reminded me of the former G-Corp soldiers back at District 4. What? What do you mean? You mean those fellas? The growths on their flesh appeared too organic to be prosthetics. Some of them had broad protrusions or nodules bulging from their skin as well. Not at all, Magibud. Look, they have been mutated in the same pattern, like into an insectoid form, for example. Well, I guess I should commend you for not looking at them through a biased lens. You were observing the aftermath of District 8's distinctive method of treatment. Oh, so this is where the rumors about this foolish healing element came from, huh? Apparently they can cure any flesh wounds if they're one night dressed in bandages. It seems that certain misconceptions must be addressed. They are the variations of Ace Corp's singularity, the bolus. Bolus. So what does that mean? Bolus. Definition. A small rounded mass of substance, essentially chewed food, or a single dose of a drug or other medicinal preparation given all at once. The bolus? She's likely referring to medicines brewed and kneaded into ball-shaped pills. Correct. H-Corp, or the Hongyuan Bioengineering Group, mainly manufactures boluses that contain essences of treatment. The boluses may be taken orally, ground with water into a paste, and applied directly to the affected area, or dissolved in water, soaked into bandages, and wrapped around the necessary area for treatment. I guess rumors transform as they travel. Oh, I see. I was just thinking about things they do back at the K-Corp. The focus of K-Corp's technology is the reversal or recovery of one's conditions, returning to the original state is the key word in their treatment. It is no rare sight to find unique technologies and technology developed independently by inhabitants of the back streets of District 8 used in manufacturing boluses. The treatments are not individually customized for each patient. Instead, their focus is on selecting the appropriate technique from a myriad of choices to address the deficiencies in their statuses. Perhaps one could choose the words transformation or evolution as the more illustrative descriptor for the method of treatment. So that's what counts as treated? The crowds Sinclair was pointing at certainly appeared unhurt, as none of them were bleeding or walking with a limp, but many of them appeared dazed, staring blankly at nothing, or scratching absentmindedly at their mutated parts. Ah, they must be the regulars. Unexpectedly, we found our answer not from Faust, not from Rousseau, but from Hong Lu. The regulars? Yes, I've heard of them as a child. People who have grown too accustomed to visiting the clinics in search of their mystical treatments. The regulars might appear more intimidating than most people at first glance, but apparently all the side effects they've been stacking changes them in strange ways. It is highly likely that interoperational conflicts or issues will arise when applying highly disparate treatment methods to a single body. At least it's a cheaper alternative for people who didn't sign up for the life insurance. You speak of life insurance? Yes, life insurance. There's a special insurance option to bring the client back to life upon the event of their death. So the irony isn't lost on me, but I thought resurrecting people was one of the head's taboos. The head does not consider the revival via life insurance to be a violation of their non-resurrection taboo. It is likely that, on a technical level, this revival is actually categorized as brain resuscitation, as opposed to a full resurrection, the degradation of its functions considered, of course. Another fatal downside to this technology is that, unlike the manager's talk mind you, the subject cannot be brought back if their brain is destroyed. Also, there's a risk of significant losses in the process of informational transference. Losses, huh? So maybe some of their mutations could be more than just side effects of the treatments. Maybe, but I heard that it takes just more than just 1 or 2 revivals to change that much. And since apparently people in the back streets could never even dream of paying consistent insurance renewal rates, so... After all, who would sign up for insurance if using its services could reduce them to such pitiful states? Yeah, they appear pathetic and pitiful to you rich bastards, don't they? You'll soon be in the same boat as them, so save some pity for yourself. Identify yourself. The stranger's voice cut through our discussions like a foreign instrument. We turned around to find a large group of people who were clearly up to no good. You must be the young master that the high and mighty Gia family, huh? I can tell just by looking at your pretty face. Your friends, Hong Lu? No. I haven't had much chance to get acquainted with people from the back streets, so, nope. I've never met them before. Of course you haven't. Too busy living large, playing gods in a whole different world from us plebs, huh? Not that it matters. We're just here to take the thing you brought here for submission to the family hierarchy evaluation. The what evaluation? Okay, there's clearly been some misunderstanding. There's quite a lot of them. We're not off to a great start here, huh? Man. Actually, no. It'd be a violation of our office's core values to jump to them like we're some common thugs. I, San Shan, third son of the Triax office, challenge Gia Bayu of the Gia family to a duel. Our wager will be that the winner can take anything they want from the loser. Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean a duel? This duel? I have a tale that duels of the honorable fixers of the Sikh Association Eastern Branch announced their intent to duel by stating their affiliation and name instead of casting their gauntlets. And the pamphlet that young Ishmael had presented before me earlier presented the truth that of the Triax office and indeed an office of the East, though they are indeed of a lesser quality. This is a true, genuine, accurate declaration of a duel that we behold. So, it's a fancy way of saying 1v1 me, let's go, isn't it? I mean, this guy doesn't look too tough. What do you think, Faust? Agreed. This individual does not seem to possess any particular exceptional skill that may pose difficulties for Hong Lu. I think it's gonna be okay. I'll be back in a minute, Dante. You sure this is okay? I don't think you're going to lose against him, but, you know, just in case. No worries. I have some childhood experience with duels myself. I've done about 10 of them, I think. Sure the rich boy's dabbled in some duels, has he? I think you misunderstand. I meant to say that I've done about 10 of them a day. Oh, but grandmother sometimes let me skip them, so there might have been slightly fewer than that on some days. What? I, Hong Lu of Limbus Company. No. I, Bao Yu of the Gia family, accept this duel. Hong Lu stepped forward confidently as the opponent was processing what he just heard. For a moment, Hong Lu stood there in a stance that did not express even a hint of aggression, before curiously cocking his head to the side. Sorry, are you waiting for something? Oh, so I always let the opponent get the first 2 moves in the duels, Please don't hesitate. Let me, you little... Your cocky pride shall be your downfall! The man who introduced himself as Shan Shan left towards Hong Lu. Then, after about a minute... How is this happening? Unlike Shan Shan, who was throwing punches and swings with boiling hot passion, Hong Lu was effortlessly gliding between his opponent's strikes like he was out on a picnic. As though this was but a leisurely stroll through a garden. Whenever Shan Shan threw a powerful punch, Hong Lu redirected it to the side with ease, the fist only grazing his clothes. We were mesmerized by the feathery light movements of his hands and feet that effortlessly glided through the air, until, after one blink and you'll miss it moment, we realized that Shan Shan was already face down on the ground, defeated. Oh, young Hong Lu, hast thou been concealing thy full strength in our presence? Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I always put my all into every fight. Yet, to defeat this foe so soundly, to dance with such grace between his strikes, 'twas as though thou wert doing someone whose skill may only measure against a child's. But most of our fights happen in environments with a lot of variables, and we usually fight against enemies with all kinds of unexpected weapons and powers. You read him. Already familiar with that fool's moves? Oh, yes! One of my Biwu instructors used similar techniques as this gentleman here. Practice makes perfect, and perfection makes an expert, right? Right, but I'm not sure if that's entirely relevant here. Well, anyways, looks to me that he soundly kicked your behind in the stool. Let us through, why don't you? And preferably not do the thing I think you're about to do. This duel wasn't overseen by a notary office anyway, and our employer's not gonna let this failure slide if we just leave. Don't just sit there, move your asses and jump him. Pathetic. I can kind of see how we're becoming experts at getting jumped. With the bitter cry of the defeated, his graying rushed towards us. It's time to kill. What the hell is this song? It's a goddamn jam, though. Oh, this music is goddamn nice. Come on, win your clashes, people. I believe in you. Music is so goddamn good. I'm just jamming out. Apologies to anyone watching if they wanted like higher bar commentary than this, but just the music is a goddamn bop. But manager Esquire's orders. Also, Hong Lu is stronger than we thought. No. Come on, go. Blink step. 1, 2, 3. This music is so goddamn nice. Let's just kill them all. Wow. Come on, let's take them. There we go. They're down. The Triax office has been defeated. This really isn't a great start, fellas. It's never easy, isn't it? Hey, at least we got a nice warm-up. It wasn't all bad. I don't know. This seems more serious than our usual street brawls. Ishmael's right. They weren't your everyday thugs who pick fights with random people for no good reason. They were contracted by someone to specifically target and eliminate Hong Lu. And given how open they were about their intent, calling it a contract doesn't seem like whoever gave the contract was exactly going for subtlety. Then maybe this is what Gia Zichun was talking about way back when she mentioned surviving as heirs? Whoever's behind this must have a bone to pick with Hong Lu. Indeed, it seems that we must expect more skirmishes like this going forward. Alas! Was this trial not readily overcome? Not the point. Not the point. Think on a little more. Seems like they are assuming that Honglu's brought something here in order to participate in that family hierarchy evaluation. Then there's no reason to assume that we've seen the last of them. They're going to try again to take out the competition. A highly accurate assessment of the situation by the executive manager. I expected no less from someone of your genius. Going for the classics of brown-nosing today, Otis. Since when was it brown-nosing to compliment a job well done? Do you not expect... This inane conversation is most riveting, but I'd prefer some silence while we wait. It seems that the company foresaw such difficulties. They sent you a support team to help handle this issue. We heard voices coming from behind us, from where Virgilius pointed. My, you guys still haven't learned how to stick to the plan, have you? It really threw me off when I was told to meet you in some backstreets location, away from our agreed rendezvous point. A familiar voice, a voice we could not forget. Been a while, everyone. Saud's back. Back from Canto 3. Hi, I'm here too. Oh, Pilot. Saud and Pilot. Effie and Saud episode and Pilot. You know what their name convention is. He's from Canto 5, she's from Canto 3. We turned around the fall where the voice is coming from and recognized two people we've been hoping to see again. There we go. Dooba-dooba-doop-a-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Perfection. There they are! Effie and Saud. They're at the Limbus. A guide. Dooba-dooba-doo-ba-doo-ba-boo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Saud? And hey, Pilot, right? You're... what's wrong? It's like you're all looking at a ghost. Pilot, didn't you tell me that you shared my news with them the last time? I did. I sure did, ma'am. Oh, yeah, he did. The sinners each recovered from the initial shock of seeing them again. And soon, their faces began to bloom with relieved smiles. Well, good to see that things haven't changed much around here. Saud, we're so glad to see you're okay. Dick, talk to you. Good, too. Good to see your gears are turning just fine. Saud smiled with a familiar grin. She did not seem to have changed much since the last time we met, save for a few minor differences. Her outfit and her badge, for example. Lest I recall, you were promoted, yes? And let me congratulate you. Yeah. Or the hints of melancholy hanging from her smile and flickering in her eyes. Hey! I'm merely congratulating her on her promotion in recognition of her excellent accomplishments. I don't see what your problem is here. But we all know the meaning that promotion carries. Indeed, it is very profound. After all, what meaning is there to a promotion attained without spilling some blood? You're a real piece of work. Let me ask you something then. Everyone behaves like you do around her, tiptoeing around the facts, keeping it hush-hush about what happened. Where's she gonna get the bare minimum of the recognition and the consolation she deserves? Hush-hush would have been nice. I even overheard some of them whispering that I let my partner die just so I can snag a promotion. So, in that regard, I appreciate that, Otis. If we're being technical, I did die, except my brain was intact. Not even K-Corp's regenerative ampoules could have revived me if it wasn't. Then did apparently they went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him with a prosthetic. According to the coroner's autopsy. So even if we hadn't put him out of his misery, he would have died. K-Corp ampoules, life insurance. Neither of them can revive someone with a damaged brain. It is what it is. Anyways, let's not drill on the depressing stuff. We're here for work. Let's get some work done. So, let's talk about work, okay? Pilot? Yes, ma'am. Well, let's see here. Coincidentally, I happen to make friends with a feller who has ties to the Gia family. So, I brought him over. Saud is just like, what? Hey, is that everything? Yes, sir. Briefing over. Just as everyone was reeling and stunned silent at the least informative, least helpful briefing we'd ever had the pleasure of sitting through. Ishmael was the first to catch herself. She looked up at Saud. Saud, can we rely on you for some elaboration here? The briefing was a good demonstration of the necessity of educating the 5 W's and 1 H principle. Aha! Looks like we'll have a lot to discuss once we get back, pilot. Did I do something wrong? Shh, pilot, buddy, just stop. You're getting yourself a deeper hole with every word. Gregor quickly leaned in to warn Pilot, but it was likely too late. A noticeable crease had already formed between Zod's brows. Prior to commencing this high-priority operation, it's necessary for us to find individuals with connections to H-Corp. So we, as the preliminary observation unit, were put to the task, and we managed to establish a connection with an individual. Ooh, someone from my family? No, we tried, but your family proved to be a rather difficult nut to crack. However, as we were wasting our precious time with all of our leads, Pilot pursued an unconventional method to establish this connection. I really didn't hold back in compliments then, and this is how you... Our collaborator is a former employee of the GF family. After leaving the family, he now runs a lodging business. The ruins every day. Effie's head was not targeted by N-Corp, but we came along, Dante gave the orders for... No, Effie's head was targeted by N-Corp. They just said that. Nah, Violin. She said that the N-Corp specifically put the nail into his brain. Like, let me pull it back up. Like, let me pull that log back up. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Let me grab it. Yep, they went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him with the prosthetic. It wasn't us. They went right for Effie's head. It was N-Corp, wasn't us. Yeah, Otis killed him. She slit his throat in order to put him out of his misery. But that wouldn't have damaged the brain. That would not have damaged the brain. Oh, I know Otis killed him. Otis put him out. Otis put Effie out of his misery. But even if they had gotten to him and we hadn't done that, he would have died. Because look, they went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him with the prosthetic. Life insurance wouldn't have worked, and neither would K-Corp Ampule. Our collaborator is a former employee of the Gia family. After leaving the family, he now runs a lodging business. Then it is likely that he's far removed from the family politics. Thus, motivation for him to attack us due to conflicting interests. Yes, and according to Pilot's report, he still regards the Gia family positively. How can I not, considering the blessings they've given me? An unfamiliar voice butted into the conversation, as though to continue Sod's explanations. I humbly present myself before the fellowship of young Master Bayou. Please, call me King Tao. He greeted us in a most polite fashion before bringing his hands together in an odd motion. Oh, is this how people greet each other in here? Yep, it's called the Balcon gesture, bringing fist and palm together to express respect and peace towards the receiver. Aha! Knights greet each other by shaking their hands for the self-same purpose. Forsooth, thou art one possessed by chivalrous spirit. Indeed. Much did I worry about the qualities of people the young master surrounded himself with, but I see that he's in company of those wise in the ways of the West. I prostrate myself before the vast breadth of your knowledge. What grand generosity it is to open ajar the waterways of wisdom to quench that barren lands. Okay, he's giving off Otis vibes, like Evil Visor. Something feels familiar about this. Nah, she's becoming less and less verbose with bootlicking these days. Not like this guy, for sure. That's true. He's kind of like, how should I put this? A bit much. What are you guys talking about? Communicating only by the sound of the ticking clock is something I'd already known ahead of time, yet... What a most curious exchange to behold in person! Brief this journey may be, yet I shall find myself thoroughly entertained in its entirety. Aha! Maybe it's the subtle sprinkle of disrespect that reminds you of the usual flavor. Wait, is this about me? You dare! Ahem? Was all that bootlicking she did supposed to be a source of pride for her, or something? Otis shook her head with a clear distaste and strode towards me. We are nothing alike, executive manager. Never have I once said such empty flattery in your presence, filled with nothing but hot air and superlatives. I'll leave the guidance of these factories to him. Well, looks like this is where? Sod fell silent, her eyes lingering on Virgilius who stood somewhat apart from the rest of us. So I finally get to meet the Red Gaze in the flesh. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. Effie would have loved to be here. Manager! Virgilia seemed to sense her lingering gaze and walked towards us after nodding slightly in her direction. Manager Sod, let's not make this any longer than it has to be. I'm not happy to be helping you with your businesses. I'd much rather put this behind me as soon as possible. Oh, please. It's our historic first collaboration operation, isn't it? Can't you spare us a little more time with us? Is the guidebud's actually doing something? That guy? Yes, unfortunately, LCC has her own business to take care of today, so I won't be accompanying the LCB this time, and the Red Gaze will be helping us out to get it done. Taking Neffy back there. Vroom vroom. Maybe it's not that unfortunate now that I think about it. I feel like every mission with the LCB has always been an uphill battle to get anything done. Well, you see, back then we were just messing with you. I'm sure we'll have another chance to work together again. Boss, we don't got much time. Wait, before you go, I think you lost some explanation, Virgilius. I will leave the details to Miss Faust. I'm quite busy. Very well. Virgilius turned around and left towards Mephistopheles with an oddly disgruntled expression. Well then, I'll see you around. Next time, I'll show you. I'll show you all that I can carry my own weight. You know, oh boy, the last time I bet was really so darn pathetic. Pilot, competence is shown through action, not words. Sound and Pilot gave us a light nod before following Virgilius. Some sinners opened their mouths to speak, hesitated, and closed them again. We let them go without a word. Perhaps we didn't know what we could say to not make this an awkward farewell. Very well. Please, this way. Or maybe we were simply mindful of this guy who was responsible for the quality of our stay. Okay, where are we going, bud? You are super suspicious. Who are you going to betray us to? Of course there's an ambush. Why wouldn't there be an ambush? There's going to be an ambush. That is the wrong button. Ooh, up and down, up and down. It's time for another battle. Deep resentment ought to be washed away. For when the far one comes betwixt the burnt door, shall a star fall astray. Are you sure we're going the right way? I don't like the sound of these weird songs. The main streets are most likely teeming with those seeking to bring harm to the young master. We must venture an alternate path. And like he said, there weren't any skirmishes once we made it deeper into the dark alleyways. The lack of foot traffic would normally be pretty unsettling, but I guess that's what we needed at this moment. As for the song, it's a song that's become rather popular in the backstreets in the recent months. The lyrics are pretty ominous for a popular song. It's a song that spread throughout word of mouth. It sings of how the decimated Kong family... This is not the place to discuss this matters. I will share the tale in a more appropriate setting later, should we come to cross it. I didn't know there was a song like that. Is this the first time you've heard of it too, Honglu? He's a boss you get from a pot family. I got his set his precious feet in the box streets. So it's no wonder he's never heard anything like that. I have been in the back streets before, but Heathcliff isn't wrong. I did spend most of my time in my room. That's precisely because you were the most treasured one of them all, young master. Much like how the jade of the greatest worth is to be cherished, prized, and hidden in the deepest depths of one's coffers, where none shall reach. Otis is getting vibes of traitor from him. I'm like him? Otis is not liking looking into the reflection. To a lesser degree, particularly as of late. So that guy used to work for the Chia family, huh? Do you know him, Honglu? Young master? Is there something on my face? Honglu stopped himself as though a thought flashed in his head, and glanced quietly in my direction. Then, it's nothing. Shall we continue walking down this road? Indeed, humble as I may be, I am very well versed in the roads of this area. Honglu shook his head at me as he casually changed the subject. It was as though he was trying to hide something we know from Kung Tao. Should we be suspicious of something? He is a collaborator, but only a temporary one. A degree of caution would be advisable. Given Pilot's clear and experience in every tet, we do well to remain suspicious of this character. Faust and Otis approached me as Hung Lu was nodding along and chatting amicably with our guide. Well, looking back at our journey so far, I think we learned our lesson about blindly trusting every collaborator we come across. With this growing mistrust in mind, I slowly made my distance from the guide before asking Faust my burning question. So, what was that about back there with Virgilius? Something about him going off to help them out. The consequences of his actions at Wuthering Heights. Oh. His actions were a violation of one of the more important items in his contract with the company. He simply is taking responsibility for the breach of contract. I think back to the incident at the manor. It feels like it's a long time ago now. Well, that's kind of a bummer. He really helped us out of a pickle. What? That's what they're dragging him away for? Is there a problem, honored guests? It's nothing at all. No problem, no. Right, Ryoshu? Idiot. Marcel, can you carry Heath for a little bit? He's dead tired. It will be done. He got punched in the gut by the hilt of Ryoshu's sword, fell forward right into Marcel's welcoming shoulder. Roja? You know the kind of person I hate the most? The kind of dull people who can't read the room. Don't you feel the same way, Dante? Yep. I nodded enthusiastically, as something seemed to imply that she wasn't really asking me a question. I don't think she was about to punch my lights out, but... Rojin and Ryoshu judged correctly this time. Classified company information must not be discussed in the presence of an outsider. Reminds me of the time he got knocked out cold for a while because he kept asking questions without raising his hands. This guy just doesn't turn, huh? You successfully preserved the secrecy of classified information without spilling blood. I applaud you this policy. I did good, didn't I? I'm just not a fan of how they're treating Heathcliff like dirt now. If it is no problemo, as you say, it is well indeed. Yet I worry that it appears that the problem has found us anyway. I stopped and looked around, realizing that we were surrounded by a group of people wielding various weapons in their hands. What happened to us finding a safer path? It is likely that my guidance has indeed given us a much safer path, away from the more obvious skirmishes. However, to my great regret, it appears that the more observant of our enemies have tracked us here. Damn it, then what are you even here for? Isn't it your job to prevent this exact scenario? Let's leave the finger pointing for later. We're going to have to take them all down. They must not be allowed to disseminate our current location. Exactly. Where are you skiving off to, Mr. Kingtao? I must regrettably and humbly say that my talents in war are terribly lacking, so I intend to become scarce for the moment. Yet I have the utmost faith in the strength of our young master and the honored guests in overcoming this adversity, so... King Tao was already standing so far away from the front lines that he was practically hiding behind me. Faust, anything you can tell us about these enemies? No, but a consultation with Jesselshop seems necessary if we are to determine whether negotiating with them is an option. They're coming. Marcel, wake Heathcliff up and set him down. It will be done. I love just the punch sound. Marcel just hit him in the head to wake him back up. Who the fuck are you? Tough-looking stranger. What is with that weapon? They're dual-wielding. Nice. Doesn't matter. Unopposed. Dominating, unopposed. Go. Kill them all. Do 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 do. Bow do do whoa whoa whoa. Do 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 whoa do whoa. Do 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 whoa do whoa. Do 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 do. No. Wow. Do. Wow. Music is so good. The music is so goddamn good. It is just a goddamn bop. There's no clashing with them. Okay, just stagger. Kill them all. Let Heathcliff sort them out. Ooh-a-doo-a-doo, doo-ba-doo, boop, boop. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, boop-ba-doo, boop, boop. Boop-ba-doo-ba-doo, boop-ba-doo, boop, boop. Come on, kill. Arcana Pierce. Arcana Pierce. Perfection. 1, 2, dead. Big clearing the path, my lord. Kill some more. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, boop-ba-doo, boop, boop. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, ba-ba-doo, boop, boop. It shall be done. 1, 2, 3. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, ba-da-doo, boop, boop. With love. Yeah. Didn't stagger, sadly. Never mind. That's a death. I fucking love how just like so excited Don Quixote is to slaughter everyone. He's having the goddamn time of her life. Boop-a-doo-ba-doo, boop-a-doo, boop, boop. Grace the sight and sound will probably one-shot this poor little one. Yep. Oh, never mind. We missed the first coin that like cuts its damage in half. It would have won if it didn't miss that last coin. Wait, why do they have 4 coins? Does Datherite count as a final coin? I don't think... I've been using her since like, I think before the first Kanto. And I still didn't know that. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, boop-ba-doo, boop, boop. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, ba-da-doo, boop, boop. Ba-ba-da-ba-da, ma-ma-da, moop, moop. Oh, no, what up, bow. This music is so goddamn good. I just can't even fucking believe it. Slave Oak. It didn't even kill? Oh, it missed like all of its coins. That makes sense. There we go. They're dead. Hostiles in the immediate vicinity have been eliminated. Our collaborator, who had been hiding far from the battle, quickly ran up to our side as soon as the fight ended. Are you unhurt, young master? Yep, I'm totally fine. Of course, our honored guest's martial skills were all exceptionally brilliant. But, young master, your light was the brightest even among the incandescent. This humble servant could not hold back his tears at this wondrous sight. To witness such excellent martial arts from none other than the young master himself. Would not expected surprise. But don't the children of the Gia family all undergo all kinds of strict training regimens from childhood? It was simply my assumption that young master had ceased his trainings once he departed the family. Anyways, how do you think they tracked us down anyway? About that, it appears that we weren't exactly tracked down. Perhaps it may be that the ilk who lurk in these parts of the back streets recognized the young master's venerable countenance. I don't think my face is that well known. The family hierarchy evaluations are nigh. Every soul living in Hongyuan must know the face of the young master who is loved by every elder of the family. It must be that they are under the assumption that you are carrying something of great value. Family hierarchy, huh? Didn't Zichun say something about their hairs back then? They all seemed wrong then. I didn't bring anything precious that the elders might be looking for. Young master, even now? I just couldn't care less about it, that's all. Besides, many of my siblings are much better fit to be the family hierarch than I am. That's... well, that is indeed a relief. A relief, is it? Well, but of course, it is a highly dangerous endeavor to partake in the hierarch evaluations, so it is of great relief to know that young master is not putting himself in unnecessary danger. I guess that could be a relief, sort of. Well, now that we took them all down, there shouldn't be any more on the way, right? Greg, can we not jinx ourselves for 1 second? Why are you laughing, Ryoshu? I'm worried. Please do not concern yourselves any further. We shall take a more clandestine path. I guarantee a safe and easy passage to our destination. I still have a hard time buying that. The lay of this place would constitute a perfect place to set an ambush in most places, yet you claim this to be the safer path. Yet I must ask you to place your faith in this humble servant. For Hong Yuan is not unlike like most places. Fine. For now. Otis shut her eyes for a moment, out of retorts, and then turned to look at Ishmael. Hey, Ishmael, you must have a pamphlet of this place handy, don't you? No way, you're actually gonna read it? Why else would I ask? No, I mean, how could I not be caught off guard after almost the whole year of getting brushed off by everyone every time I plead with them to read the damn pamphlets? Like hell, did no one think to... I will find my own intel if you're just gonna ramble on and on with your grievances. Okay, fine. Here it is. Otis opened the pamphlet and began intently glaring at its text, as though she didn't want to miss even the smallest detail of information in there. Suspicion cleared on her knitted brows. She is goddamn suspicious of Qing Tao. And, like, he is very obviously going to betray us. Kezhan? The fuck is Kezhan? Recharge Uncle Fallen. Use a lunacy. Boop-a-doo. Go back in. We are on a desperate run. All the while fighting off hordes upon hordes of enemies. Oi! What happened to safe and easy passage? Explain this shite! It appears that the young master's radiant countenance was made known. I thought we were fighting the more clandestine passage. How come we're getting jumped by even more enemies? As I've said, the young master's radiant. At least try to give a little variation to your excuses. I cannot so easily say that he's been untruthful, given the disjointed allegiance of the enemies attacking us. Otis played with the pamphlet in her hand, clearly frustrated but unable to establish anything concrete. For people without a clear allegiance to attack a member of the Chia family. Looks like everyone in the back streets has been getting pretty plucky while I was away. Back then, I couldn't even catch a glimpse of their faces. They all be on their hands and knees whenever we walked past. What a wonderful change. Oh, shove that wonderful change at your arse, you bloody loon. How much longer till we get there? My Kezhan is near. Calm your worries. Our guide seemed oddly calmer now that he did at the beginning of this journey. Did he really get numb to all this violence that fast, or... speaking of which, what's a Kezhan? It is a term commonly used to refer to taverns, inns, or equivalent places of lodging in this region. Lodging, huh? Like a hotel? It's gotta be pretty fancy then, huh? They serve, like, complimentary snacks and drinks like the warp train? Not sure about that, but it seems like the Kezhans also serve alcohol and food alongside their lodging services. Maybe we can get a meal in there. And, hopefully we don't be attacked like this. Residential non-aggression taboo. Any mutual acts of violence that a residential building is, within this particular area and floor of Hong Yuan, a taboo. A taboo. We may must reason within, then. I saw Faust's eyebrows slightly twitch, as though she had just heard the most ridiculous thing. But I guess I'll ask her about that later. Ew, man. If it's for some kind of family hierarchy or family head selection contest, why wouldn't they save all this fighting until then? Because it would be too late. Late how? Every hierarch candidate must have brought incredibly precious treasures with them. It would be nice if they believed that their own treasure is the most precious of them all, but everyone's gonna try to take each other's just to be sure, I see. Just in case someone else brought something even better than their own. And might we kill them too, for the sake of convenience? Is that how folks in your family think? What kind of line of thinking is that? But the other families don't seem too different from mine. Them? These apologies for intruding upon this most enthralling conversation. However, we may be inviting even further trouble by dallying here. With that, the guide pulled out a watch to check the time. It will be nighttime soon. Oh, night in the back streets. Night in the back streets. Do 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 do. This music is goddamn fire. Do 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 ba da ba boo do do. Ward. 1, 2, 3. Let's kill them all and get rid of their bodies. Let's kill them all and get rid of their bodies. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop-a-doop-boop-boo. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop-a-doop-boop. Bow, wow, wow. Oh, whoa, wow. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop-a-doop-boop, bow. Boop-a-doop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. This music is so goddamn nice. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, bow, wow. I don't know, no, no. No, no, momo, no, ah, no. No, 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 momo, no, kill them all. Let's get rid of them. Die. Arcana Slave! Yay! Yeah, I don't really have anyone to bounce off of, so it's maybe just gonna be me humming to the beat, because this is very nice. Mersault, kill her. Thank you. Oh, damn it, Mersault! Come on, just die. There we go. This isn't an interesting battle. They're just fodder. If it was an interesting battle, I would have actually played it, but win rate works. Ah, no, here we are. Is this the place? After running through alleyways after alleyway, after turning corner after corner, we finally came across the site of several small buildings, tightly built next to one another. At the center of them was a building lit with red lamps, adorned with a door plate with the complicated-looking letters scribbled over it. This is shoddier than I expected. Hey, is this place a bit too trashy to house your precious young master? That is not our building. Please, do look this way to see where our honored guests will be staying for the night. I knew it! I heard so much from Hong Lu about all the splendor, all the... Huh? We followed King Tao's finger and arrived at a small warehouse of sorts, its exterior painted in black. That looked smaller than even Mephistopheles. Can we all even fit in there? Hey, that place looks tracky as heck! And for us, let alone your young master. This is the nearest Kazan we could afford to stay in, at least among the ones that I manage. Its location in the back streets heavily limits the level of decency it can afford. My deepest and sincerest apologies, young master. Don't worry, we can't always sneak in decent places. Looks just fine for an overnight stay to me. Are you nuts? You don't think you would fit all of us in there? Much that I wish to guide the honored guests to the family mansion in the central zone. However, the time... Oh, the sweeping wave. Doesn't that start at 3:13 in the morning? I feel like we've got plenty of time to get there. Exactly. Don't we have more than enough time to get to the family head mansion? According to the H-Corp travel guide, the central area is only like an hour away from here. Has the honored guest traveled to District 8 before? Well, no, this is my first time here, but... Then one must ask how the honored guests could claim to have the full understanding of a place merely by flipping through a book when she hasn't had to contend with it in person. Innumerable, unpredictable changes await in this teeming jungle of buildings. The ever-shifting structures, the constantly changing paths, ambushes from foolish yet vicious syndicates or even offices at the back streets. We are beset by danger on all sides. Such a bold, flippant approach to breaking the phenomena of this place is the court death. If it is a toddler, must know that. One fails to disguise his utter sorrow at the inadequacy of her wisdom. Is it just me, or are we all still thinking back to Ishmael back at the Great Lake? Zip it, Dante! But the guidebook lists the path, does it not? Does not imply that it's technically possible to reach there in time. Oda suddenly took a step forward. In her hand was the H-Corp travel pamphlet that Ishmael was talking about. I have faith that our executive manager would lead us in your directionally challenged stead, that we'd be able to lead us to our destination before night falls. Me? This does not appear to have been discussed beforehand. Very well, allow me to speak freely without frills. My responsibility is to bring the honored guest to the central zone, and to ensure that the young master's safety. It is, indeed, technically possible to reach the family mansion before the nightfall night in the back streets commences. Technically. Yet, not even one iota of danger to the young master shall be permitted. The mission that has been so graciously bestowed upon this humble servant is not to guide the young master with haste, but to guide him with utmost safety. Oh! It is said that those engaging in strategies and plans must remain wary of losing sight of their purpose, to stubbornly forge on towards the family mansion in lieu of unnecessary intel to see when these mobs of assailants would end. It is wrong to wrongly prioritize the journey of their destination. You! Wonderful. Truly impressive. You have all the qualities of someone I would trust with my life. When devising a stratagem, this is the most fitting attitude for those who genuinely wish the best for those they serve. Really? You're just gonna start going along with them all of a sudden? I have misunderstood your intentions then. Truly. They sparked my ire by comparing some of your choice words with my very own. Yet now my eyes have been opened to the honest loyalty that lies within your heart. This humble servant did not imagine in his wildest dreams that there would be someone who understands the fathoms of his loyalty. It seems that young master has certainly gained an eye for allies in his fellowships. This is a cause for much relief in my heart. Listen to him, as one knows how the jest. They're basically best buds now, huh? I may have lost my cool for a moment there. Anyway, this man speaks true. It is highly likely that we will be exposed to attacks of similar nature, were we to continue moving at this time. She's just fully on his side now, isn't she? That's when I realized that she was looking in my direction. The exaggerated smile has all but completely faded from her face, replaced with an odd but dead serious expression. When our gazes locked, she nodded. She must be completely turned around by that guy. Is this her way of saying, so long, I'm gonna quit and go work with this dude now? Thanks for everything? Dante. Honey, no. She's acting. And as for this hotel, it is still much better than sleeping in our outdoor tent barracks. We would be able to relieve ourselves of some fatigue here before moving on. Did you not earlier insist on considering our search for better accommodation within the greatest behemoths, Miss Otis? Yeah, whatever. We get your point. Let's go inside. Whew! My humblest self can only behold your generous acceptance of this insufficient lodging with the deepest gratitude. After all that serious talk, the man seemed oddly relieved to hear her decision as he brought his fist and palm together. Architecture of today mustn't be judged with such haste merely by observing their exterior. The interior may hold aught to be surprised of. Worry not. With Rojan surrendered, wouldn't that be nice? We made our way into the building. Ooh, it's not feeling so bad. It's clean in here. This place presents a rather classical aesthetic. The landscape paintings along the walls give off a rather sophisticated mood. And it's much more spacious inside than it looks from the outside. Did they use some kind of space expansion technology in here, too? No, it seems that the building only appears small due to the density of structures in proximity. Well, the door is now open. Should my presence be required, I shall be in the small shed next to this building. Please do converse freely. The man smiled awkwardly and quietly excused himself as the excitement among the sinners began to grow. Meanwhile, Honglu stood a fair distance from the guide, quietly watching his face as he left. His expression was enigmatic, as if he was gazing upon the clouds, the flowers, or even the wind. Yet there was no light in those eyes. It was as if they beheld a storm cloud, a desolate field of wilted flowers, and a howling, destructive gale. Do you suspect something, Honglu? So I decided to ask. Not yet, I don't think. Huh? Not yet? So, big brother, something felt off to you too, huh? That's when we caught a familiar voice. Wow, Z-Chun, it's you! And so soon, too. Yeah, I told you I had a feeling we'd be seeing each other again very soon. Have you been well, young master? I'm so glad to see you're doing well, Master Wei. Oh, wait, don't tell me you're staying here too, Zichun. I normally wouldn't even set foot in a place like this, but I ran into some kind of large-scale construction on my way back to the family mansion. Had to come in through the back streets. So we weren't the only ones troubled by that random construction site. Wow! Hail to thee! Oh, Don Quixote is... Well, first, Yuri Glass is engaged. Don Quixote is surprisingly excited to see Zichun. Hail to thee! The confident look on Zichun's face was immediately replaced by that of alarm. Did she lose her memories again? Is she with you? She lose her memories again? Is she with you? No, Don Quixote is the same as always. Ahem. But she looks like such an airhead. Young Zichun! Oh, without accompany me to the lounge but a moment, so maybe share a moment of catching up. The Yuri goggles are on high blast. Huh? Oh, yeah, actually, let's do that. Hold on. Zichun seemed to hesitate for a moment, staring at Don Quixote after hearing that her memories were intact, before walking right up to her. I like that idea. Shall we? Wei, why don't you go and find a room for me to stay in while I talk some things out with her? Huh? What? You wanted to do some catching up, right? Major Esquire! Loss of critical personnel may be a cause for disciplinary action, Dante. I don't think there's anything wrong with making friends, though. Looks like Zichun really likes Don Quixote, if she's comfortable enough to tease her like that. It's not Don Quixote she likes. She obviously just wants Don Quixote's power she saw back then. My lady, this is hardly the appropriate place for... Fine, I'll try again later. Go get some sleep, I'm heading in too. Zichun sighed with a bit of disappointment before heading in towards the lobby. Well, let's all head inside now. So I and the rest of the sinners followed her into the lodging. There we go. Yes. The fucking contrast. Magical Girl Dawn. Yep, Zichun and Wei. Suspicion. What's the suspicion of? Everyone was busy looking around and commenting on various things in our lodging, but Sinclair appeared to be on the most anxious of them all. Sinclair? Something in here stands out. Like, imagine an ideal picture. Did you call? Yi sang. Fucking really? I missed that joke, Yi sang. That's not what I'm not... anyway, am I the only one who feels like something stands out like a sore thumb from the whole picture? Oh, yeah, glad you brought it up. I didn't say anything because I thought it was just me. Roja! So, what's so awful about this place? Isn't it obvious? Where'd all the complimentary snacks go? What's that weird mystery table at the center of this room? Huh? That is kind of weird, though. What's the table doing there? Its saturated colors are quite a pleasant sight for behold. So, is it any better inside? What the hell was that hideous table? The kerfuffle sparkled by the particularly unsightly piece of indoor furniture calmed somewhat once everyone made it inside the building. Of course, no one was able to discern the real purpose of that table yet. Every step on the floor leaves black residue on the shoes. Not only the floor, touching the walls leaves an unidentified black substance on one's fingers. Not to mention how the walls ripple in an odd fashion. What could possibly be the construction of the structure? Well, my guess is as good as my guess is that maintenance that's been lacking. Maybe, but why is everything so neatly organized if that's the case? I've been to enough city establishments to tell when a place has been gone a while without a tidy up. Ahem. At least it appears that each room is furnished with a bed, but this is far from optimal. If you can imagine, we're able to rest here. I guess I really didn't have much time to clean up. Zichun, the last person to walk in after having taken her time to examine the area outside the lobby, stared blankly around the room with an aghast expression. I'm not even sure what to say to this ridiculous negligence. then found her room after leaving a scathing remark. The first time we saw right into some shady business, ain't it? Let's just cross that bridge when we come to it, yeah? I guess. Anyone could tell that there was something definitely wrong about that guy. Some sinners, including Heathcliff, had already slumped to the floor, vocalistically expressing their desire to rest with a collective sigh of exhaustion. Well, it is pretty weird, but at least we have a roof over our heads. In that case, Dante, perhaps this may be a good time to announce today's closure of business. I've never made this announcement outside the bus before. Oh, right. I hereby confirm today's closure of business for the centers. Understood. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. As soon as she finished, the sinners each began to relax in their own ways. Some stumbling into their rooms, while others lingered to speculate over the bizarre table at the center of the room. Save for Otis, that is. Got something to say, Otis? Yes, Executive Manager. It's about our guide, King Tao. Oh, your new best friend from earlier? Seems like you guys were getting along pretty well. What? That is simply untrue. It does not see the signal I gave you earlier. What signal? Oh, you mean when you nodded slightly in my direction? Indeed! That individual's information also valid over us when it comes to this locale. Regardless of how sound the accusations we came up with were, he would have been able to explain them away using his familiarity with the region. I thought, as the party with an informational disadvantage, it would be wise to feign camaraderie and friendship with that individual and go along with their plans while trying to dig out as much intel as possible. I seriously thought that this guy totally won you over. Executive Manager, I've been in this business for many years. How could you even imagine that I'd be fooled by such a manager spy who so overtly It's nothing. Otis's disappointment was palpable, but she stopped herself as though she remembered that there were more important matters at the hands. Ahem. While I was uncertain as to how long that individual would be accompanying us, it would be reasonable to speculate that he approached the LCCB with the explicit purpose of eliminating Hong Lu, Jia Baoyu. I present the fact that it was pilot, that inexperienced greenhorn, who somewhat conveniently came across this connection as another evidence supporting this suspicion. That's also true. Faust has this information to share. Faust joined the conversation after listening to us discuss for some time. A review of every known taboo has failed to identify the one he called residential non-aggression taboo that universally prohibits acts of violence within residential areas. Then that also has to be... It is too early to come to the conclusions regarding that matter. It appears that this area, Hong Yuan, has taboos that change depending on your location within its territory. However, considering that every other circumstance or evidence, we cannot come to a conclusion that he is most likely lying to us. Your assessment cannot be denied. In that case, we must already be deep within the enemy's machinations. The constant stream of random assailants we faced earlier was most likely also a part of their plan. It may very well be that this building itself is also a trap, yet we lack the intelligence about this particular back streets to be certain. However, we do have one minor advantage. It seems that they've severely underestimated our capabilities, given the low caliber of assailants they decided to send after us. One thing that we capitalize on is that mutual lack of intel. Keep our guard up, remain alert, and we should be able to navigate our way out of this trap, Executive Manager. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. Honestly, I didn't know who or what to trust. Then I would appreciate it if you could trust me fully next time. Otis bowed politely and returned to her room. Faust and I chatted a little more about King Tao and his plans, but our discussion ended without bearing much fruit. Okay, let's see what's going on next. Nice. Witness. Who the hell is that? That is a new figure. Is that that looks like Keisho Faust. Is it going to be the the identity she's based on? Witnessing. I realized that Hong Lu was missing as I was speeding up, spending time chatting with the sinners. I didn't notice him going into his room. So I walked to the exit, about to look for Hong Lu outside, and ran to Gia Zichun and Wei, who decided to stay in the room close to the door. It's getting late. Were you going alone without a guard? Oh, just looking for Hong Lu. Right, I can't understand what you're saying. Oh, right. When it comes to conversing without the sinners, I find that there are two types of people. The first type usually says whatever is on their mind without pausing for or caring to hear my reply. Given that this type of person isn't actually looking at to communicate with me, that simplifies things a little on my end. However, it's also oddly insulting, as it seems as though they don't recognize me as a human, but rather a wall, or a clock on a wall. On the other type is the one that reads me so well that they might as well be able to hear what I'm saying. Virgilius falls into the latter category. He recognizes the pitch of my tics and talks, reads my body language or something, even sometimes even claims to see my expressions like how Don Quixote does. And Gia Zichun, who saw through me with this short exchange. Okay, let's see. Just looking to get some early morning air. Does your prosthetic head even have a respiratory function? Wouldn't have guessed from the way it looks. Did not belong in either category. No, not really. I'm just looking for Hong Lu because I haven't seen him in a while. You're shaking your head, so no. Then are you looking for something to eat? She's a new one, the type that tries to figure out what I'm saying without asking for help. My lady, would not it be wise to wake or find someone who may be able to translate? They would have done that themselves if it was something important. I'm kind of curious, though. What is that hand gesture you made when I first asked? You, brought your index fingers up to your cheeks. Well, Hong Lu's always smiling, so I thought maybe I could simulate his smile to convey that I'm looking for him. Perhaps it was an effort to express cuteness or beauty. What? No, I was just trying to express a smiling face. Oh no, this isn't gonna be easy, is it? Huh, they're TikToking a lot more vigorously. Hey, I think you're onto something. This conversation was starting to veer into a completely unintended territory. After a bit of trial and error. I see, you're looking for my big brother. We took some very roundabout ways, but I was eventually able to get her to understand what I was trying to say. Well, if he's who you're looking for, that's easy. You should be able to find him by the lounge back there. I doubt he got very far from there, if he even left. So, that's what you're trying to say so hard to communicate? Dia Zichun was, strangely enough, disappointed and dispirited by my reply. I did have something to tell you too, but... never mind. I feel like the mood's getting ruined. Let's talk about this another time. I was curious, but it would also take ages for me to ask how she's feeling, so I nodded to express my gratitude before heading to the back entrance. And found Hong Lu, gazing at the hazy scene out the opaque window. So, what are you doing here? People watching. There were some people stumbling through the streets outside. As I stared outside the window at the scene, Hong Lu seemed to sense what I was thinking and began... Are you worried for me, Dante? Well, yeah, it's your turn, Hong Lu. It really is. I'm back at H-Corp and everyone's making about the family hierarchy selection. But you don't have to worry about me at all. Because I did not wish for anything from Limbus Company. Really? I'm not like he's saying. I'm not hiding my true feelings. No one gave me a wonderful promise like they would help me recover my torn and broken wings. I joined only to have some new experiences, that's all. But we do know something's definitely going to happen, whatever it might be. Something that will shake you to your very core. Even if you didn't wish for anything, going through something like that could... probably, yes. But it's okay. I'm used to being led by the will of others anyway. No matter what happens here, I can't do this like everyone else. Because that's how it always is. That's how it's always been. Whatever happens to me or to those around me, I only... A loud, boisterous bellow suddenly cut Hong Lu off before he could finish his sentence. Oi! Let go of me! Isn't that a sod talk? Tell me I'm not supposed to get mad at that. Take it, lower your voice! What are you guys doing back there? Greg and Heathcliff, who are most likely hiding behind the entrance door, tumbled into view. I knew I shouldn't have come here with this guy. Couldn't you be patient for even a few minutes before bursting out of here? How long have you two been listening? From the very start, Course, I thought he was finally making some sense at first, but what's that? You used to follow as a whale. I didn't mean to irk you, Heathcliff. I'm only telling the truth. Bloody hell. About the Buzzle Blessel. Oi, Buggy Bloke. I'm supposed to practice patience after listening to that, drivel. I think I'm practicing patience of patience despite you calling me Buggy Bloke out of nowhere. So yeah, you are. That's not what I mean. Finally, some silence. Anyway, sorry about listening, fellows. I'll let you in on some big secret if you let this one slide, though. What's the secret? Gregor rubbed his arm awkwardly as they stared at him in silence, then pointed at a pillar in the exaggerated potion. Guess who's hiding behind that pillar, Manager Bud? With that, two familiar figures fumbled out into view from behind the pillar. How could you betray us like that, Gregor? B-W-A-H-A. Bad, weak, and highly annoying. Good night, snooze fest, she says. Good night, snooze fest was not part of that. Huh? Did I get that wrong? I never said good night, snooze fest. Where did you get an FU? Hiroshi looked at Sinclair with some intense interest before slicing open the ceiling above the entrance. And with an uncharacteristically wet noise for something cutting through a wall, a black ink-like substance dripped onto the floor, followed by Roja and Otis crashing down after. GTFO. Wow, I didn't realize I'd garnered such an audience for my story. Commander, the sole reason I followed you out here was for the purpose of protection. I was concerned for your safety. I'm not like the others who have followed you merely to sate their curiosities. Me? I was just bored. Then shall we continue the conversation, Dante? Everyone, back to your rooms, now. It actually pissed off Dante. That's a goddamn first. And I am already feeling goddamn wary of doing this, so I'm gonna end early. There's been going for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and approximately only you showed up in YouTube chat, Violin. So, not really enough to engage me and to keep me going despite my tiredness. So, thanks for anyone who did show up. The only one I know that did show up is Violin in the YouTube chat. So, thank y'all. And I guess I'll see y'all later. Whatever time it is for you. Good night, good evening. Have a good time. See you later.